Hi everyone, it's Doug Oster from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and welcome to Digging with Doug. The second week in a row we're inside, and what a place to be on a cold winter day, but in Janoski's farm and greenhouse, surrounded by these wonderful poinsettias. We're going to learn everything there is to know about picking out, caring for, and growing poinsettias today. Let's go talk to Dan Janoski, and he's going to tell us everything we need to know. Dan, thanks so much for having us.
Not a problem, Doug.
First question, poinsettia or poinsettia?
Poinsettia here.
Okay. When people do come to look for their Christmas plants, what should they look for in the quality of a plant?
You always want to look for a healthy plant, and the best way to tell that is by the leaves of the plant, that they're nice and dark green and very healthy looking, not wilted, not discolored, not burnt edges on them, that the plant had been sitting around and not taken care of right. You want to look at the beads in the center of the flower to see that they're there and they're nice and healthy looking, and they'll generally have a yellow look to them, and that means that the flower is just coming into its peak. If they're brown, that means that the flower has been in bloom for a long time, or someplace too hot or too cold, and it's going out of its peak of what it's looking at its best.
And when people come shopping for poinsettias, this should be the last stop, right?
Correct. It's very important that you don't expose these to any cool weather. Generally, when you're Christmas shopping, it could be anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees or colder, windy. So you don't want to come here 8 o'clock in the morning and get these plants and put in your car and then go to all the other stores and not get home to 5 or 6. You're going to have a pot full of dead plants when you get home. They've been grown in here where it's been 68 degrees for the last 4 months, controlled environment, and that's what they like to have. So no, you want to come late, make it your last stop on your day, and get them then, yes.
And they are very cold sensitive. Even going from the greenhouse out to your car, they need protection, right?
Yes, very important. We put them in a plastic, it's called a plant sleeve. It's a plastic bag, bottomless bag. It comes up and protects them, because just 2 or 3 minutes going from the door out to your car, you can freeze them if it's windy out, yes.
Now traditionally, the big seller is your red poinsettia, but I love the different ones. Talk about some of the different things that people can get as far as poinsettias are concerned.
Yeah, it's came a long way since in the 50s and 60s. Red was the most popular then, and there was white and pink. And then the last 10 years, a lot of, we call them novelties, have came along. And there's a jingle bell. It looks like it's a red flower. It looks like somebody splashed white paint on. There's several other ones. There's a new one we have this year called Ice Punch. It's a red flower with a white veins coming out in it. There's pink peppermint. There's burgundy. There's the marble.
The one I like is the winter rose.
Yeah, the winter rose. And it got that name because it's actually a curled flower that looks like a rose a little bit. And that's very popular also, the winter rose, yes.
So once they get that plant home, how do they keep it growing and making it look as nice as it does here?
The main thing is putting in a brightest place that you have, your brightest room, if you can, and then the brightest place in that room that you have. And then you don't want to put it close to where it's going to catch a cold draft from the door with people walking in and out throughout the holidays. Or you don't want to put it close to a heater duct, it's going to get a hot draft, because then it's almost too warm for it. You want to put it at kind of a neutral place in the house. And then you want to just keep it damp. It all depends on how warm you keep your home as far as how often you're going to have to water it. The warmest home, probably every other day to every third day, you'd probably have to water it. And then if you keep your house, in the low 60s, you could get away with probably once a week in these short days watering it.
Now Christmas is over. I've got 2 big, beautiful poinsettia plants going. What can I do with them?
You want to continue to keep them watered moderately, not overwatered or not underwatered. Both are very important not to do. And then just keep it going, and then in the spring of the year, the flowers are going to fade off of it. And you can put it outdoors in May once the weather gets nice. And you can, it's very tricky, but you can bloom them again for next Christmas.
Yeah, I've seen people try to do that, where they take the plant and they put it in the closet.
Yeah, that's the old myth, the closet story. What's behind the closet story, the month of October, they have to have natural, whatever God's given us in a number of daylight hours, that's what they have to have. So if you have it in a room where, say in October, it probably gets dark generally around 6 o'clock, and you're staying up till 9 watching television or reading the newspaper, that's when you have to put it in the closet while you have those lights on that room. Or put it in a room that you don't turn no lights on. But that's, nothing's going to live in the dark except the mushroom, We can't you can't shove them in a closet and expect them to grow, It's the month of October, though. It's very important to give them whatever the natural amount of daylight is.
So if they're growing on a windowsill in October, if you bring them back in September before it gets cold, there's a chance you could get some blooms.
Yeah, yes, as long as you're not turning on no lights in that room after dark.
Dan, thanks so much for having us out.
You're welcome, Doug.
Now,
you're welcome anytime.
We've got to go down and look at some more poinsettias. Come on,
Okay.
show me some stuff.
Yeah.
Is still the #1 seller the big red one?
Yes. About 75% of what we grow is a straight red, yes.
Do you like winter rose, or that's not for you?
That's not my favorite, no. I like the red and white combo is one of my most favorite. Yes.
It is pretty. Remember, if you'd like more information about what we were talking about today, log on to www.post-gazette.com/homes and click on the gardening forum button. That's also a place where you can find other videos that we've shot through the season. You can also see my blog and other videos at PG Plus, the Post-Gazette's members only site. Till then, I'm going to get some more poinsettias for myself and take home for Christmas. One thing people are always talking about is poinsettias, are they poisonous?
Yeah, they're no more poison than any other of your house plants. As far as pets go, if you was to eat enough of them, yes, it's going to make them sick, but no more than any other house plant. And as far as humans and the kids, it's no more poison than what table salt is. If you ate that whole plant, you would get sick naturally, but you know, we hope that don't happen, that anybody's going to eat that whole plant. It'd be pretty foolish.
And it doesn't taste very good.
No, that's for sure. There's nothing there to draw you to eating that.
Go ahead and try one. Let me see.
No, you try one first.